getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, what's going on? A happy Tuesday. Good afternoon and welcome. This is The Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app, TSportsNetwork.com, and yours on the TV, Fox 34 News Now, YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku. Lots of ways to take us in. However you're doing so, we are glad that you've decided to make us part of your Tuesday afternoon. Alongside Matt Estenson, I'm Chois Woodman. Clint Scott across the way taking care of us. You can also join us. If you got thoughts, comments, questions, bring them all in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. Take that app anywhere with you. Even listen in if you're out in Coffin's Patch, Florida. What's up? How are you?
I'm good,
Mr.
man.
Estenson?
I'm good.
It's good.
A little odd being on a Tuesday here, but
Yeah.
okay.
We can revisit how you did on your pick'em on Friday.
Okay.
We'll get to that coming up a little
Hopefully
bit
did
later.
a bit better than
Producer chair has been atrocious up to this point in the season, so we'll let you know how
it has been terrible.
they did.
Well, okay, but I just for
Clint's
anybody
been-
just joining, I haven't been a part of these picks at all.
Clint's been guiding them.
You're the
telling them
ringleader
exactly
of
how to
them.
pick.
So
Well, if that were the case with our other pick'em for Tech Talk, they'd be doing pretty well right now.
I know you have had a bit of a comeback, haven't you? I was a dummy and went with Penn State this week. I thought,
That was
surely they're not going to.
It was one of the funniest picks because I thought about doing it too, and I was like, nope. Something in my gut just says, after UCLA, just don't do it. Even though I think Penn State will beat Northwestern, and now they don't have a coach. Well, they do, but
Well, not a head coach, not a permanent head coach. I am very interested in the whole coaching carousel and how things are going to go down. I wouldn't be shocked to see a trade there. Matt Rule go to Penn State. James Franklin land at Nebraska. That would actually be kind of entertaining. I think there's all sorts of. It's crazy how many guys are getting fired this early. Like, we've just hit the halfway point in the season, and there's already, 7 or 8 coaches fired? So it's wild how it's been going up to this point. But we'll get y'all's residual reaction from Texas Tech and Kansas, where the Red Raiders won 42-17 on Saturday night. We'll get Matt's reaction. Since he wasn't in here yesterday, we'll hear from him and his thoughts on the Red Raiders' victory over the Jayhawks. We'll talk some NFL. We'll get into some nonsense, because why not? And there's a study out there that says the Chiefs are benefiting from calls. It's science now, so I don't know. We may wait till after 1 o'clock to bring that one.
I think people just
Clint's taken enough abuse this week.
Yeah. I
don't care. They can cry.
It's just the superstar treatment. I don't know why everybody gets so upset about it constantly happening to the Chiefs. I mean,
it's happened forever.
It happens in every sport. It doesn't even matter.
But I don't even think it's that exaggerated, like as some say. Tech basketball got a new 4-star commit. Are we getting spoiled as a fan base? 4-star commits used to be a huge deal. Like in Lubbock, Texas.
Now it's like the back page of the paper.
It's like, cool. Yeah, I got another 4-star. Like, if you got in football and basketball, you might get 1 4-star a recruiting cycle. And it was like, all right, man, we're really making it now. And now it's like, oh, just add that one to the heap. So I mean, that's the top 75 player in the country.
You get a 4-star and you'd be like, changing the program right now. This is it. This is the start.
Yes, that's exactly how it used to go. But it's wild. I think we are getting a little spoiled as fans.
Continue to spoil us. I'm
okay with that. I feel spoiled. It's a weird feeling for both basketball and baseball, or basketball and football, pardon me. Because we get the basketball poll that comes out yesterday, and Texas Tech's ranked number 10, and your football team's ranked number 7 right now in the AP poll. I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer if we've ever had that happen where both teams are ranked in the top 10. My guess is no, that both teams, football and basketball, have been ranked in the top 10 at the same time. But with that, I still, as a fan, I have expectations for both, but I still have a chip and there's a cynicism that still lives in me as a Red Raider of, okay, just don't screw this up. Because right now you are the best team hands down in the Big 12. Not any question about that in football. But it doesn't mean you're going to win your final 6 games of the season. I mean, you and I are sitting there talking last week of looking ahead to Arizona State.
Yeah.
And now we're here at Arizona State, and you're a 10.5-point favorite on the road.
As hot as the season started, and you're 6-0, are you still just 2 losses away from missing the playoffs? As high ranked as you are right now,
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think
that's a scary thought.
Because
still.
Late losses are dangerous in college football. Later losses, it's better to lose early because you have time to climb back up.
Yeah, but I think once you get a certain point in the rankings, late losses aren't as.
It just depends who and how, and you don't have.
That's right.
You don't have a who.
Undefeated BYU. If that was your second loss,
okay,
would that knock you out? Because they're 15, so by then.
If you're losing 2.
Yeah.
In the matter of a month, it's going to be really hard.
It'd be really
hard. You
hard.
might find your way into.
I think you'd be like right there at 15-ish.
You might find your way still into the Big 12 championship game with a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
You might. And that would still be a path to get there. But, yeah, it is kind of a scary thing. I think it's scary you're 2 losses away.
To think that you're 2 losses away from being out of the playoffs with how good of a team that you have.
I would be surprised if Texas Tech lost more than 1 game.
Oh, I don't think it's going to happen.
No,
but that's how fine line the seasons are in college football. Is you're 1 loss for a lot of teams,
sure, or
a team like Oregon and Ohio State. You're 2 losses away from kicking yourself out of the playoffs.
Yep, no doubt. But you're sitting here with aspirations to take this thing undefeated. Now, can you do it? I don't know. This was the game where people kind of circled and said, "Okay, this is the one you're not going to be favored in. If there's one left on your schedule."
The ASU game.
Yes, the Arizona State game coming up. People said, okay, if there's one you're not going to be favored in, it'll be this one. If. Now you've got BYU. We'll see what happens. You'll still be favored there.
Because you're at home.
At home. But I don't know if you're a 10.5-point favorite in that game. Why?
You said you didn't have a who, so I was giving you a Cindy Lou Who.
Didn't have a who. There we go. That was such a reach. I had no idea. You could have given me 2 hours to try to figure that out, and I still wouldn't have gotten it without an explanation.
The who, but
okay,
that came to me later after I was already typing in that.
It's the bottom line. Good grief.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It's Tuesday afternoon on the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. You'll keep your commentary rolling in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, and we'll return to some of that in a little bit. Matt, you and I and Roman picked games on Friday. How do you feel like you did?
Probably about the same. I don't feel like I did too hot.
You and Roman tied for the week lead at 4-6.
We tied for the lead? Where were are you?
3-7.
Oh, okay.
So overall,
4-6.
I mean, we all picked North Texas. We all picked Oregon. We all picked OU. We all picked TCU.
Guess what?
I was the only idiot that picked the Cowboys. But we all did pick Texas Tech.
There we go. We just needed one bell to keep us coming back.
So, for the season totals, Matt, you are now 15-15. I am also 15-15.
Average.
And the producer chair,
My whole life.
led by Clint Scott.
Whoa.
Well, you're over there today, so 10-20 for the year.
I'm like not even the interim. I'm like the UCLA situation. We're like, hey, you've never called plays before? Yeah, come on, you're
just
the
throw 'em in
offensive
there.
coordinator.
10-20.
At least I'm 500.
Yeah,
That's the goal, right? To stay over 500.
over. Yeah, we're at 500.
Yeah,
so
we're okay. We're just middle of the season still.
We'll work our way back up. So
You're the Chiefs.
Don't ever disrespect me like that.
Oh, you don't want
Whoa,
to. You don't want to
whoa.
for sure win the AFC again and have a shot at a Super Bowl.
No, I don't have the refs helping make my picks. Okay, calm down.
Okay, Pats fan. Okay,
I know.
Pats fan.
That is,
Okay.
get that
Okay, Patriots fan.
get that plank out of your own eye type of thing.
What have the Patriots ever done wrong? Let's just.
The Deflategate, Spygate.
Is it? It wasn't. It was frowned upon.
I think you don't find someone $500,000 for. Wait, was it $500,000? Or was it more than
It
that?
was a lot.
Whatever it was for frowned upon things. You didn't do as hot on your over-unders.
Oh my gosh, I knew I did terrible on those from the get.
You on Saturday, I gave you some over-unders. Morton passing, you took the under of 293. Good job.
Yeah,
You knew he wasn't going to be
for
in the whole
unfortunate
game.
reasons.
Running back rushing yards, total running back rushing yards, we set at 175. You took the under
Oh, that was crushed
by one player.
by one player.
By the end of the first half.
The leading receiver, who you said was going to be Reggie Virgil, at 75 yards, you took the over. Not so much.
Yeah, it was a rough. Hey, you know what though? All that matters is the victory.
Which is funny because the week before with me, you did so well.
Maybe it's choice thing.
It's possible. Jacoby Williams, total yards, you took the over of 100. Not so much. Cam Dickey, total yards, you took the under of 80.
Which he got just about in one play.
Yes, 71 on the
71.
first play.
I knew it was over after that when I texted you. I was like, it's over.
Yeah, you did text me.
We usually
gone.
do a multi-touchdown pick to end our over-unders. And I picked Cam Dickey, and I was like, well, this is a really good start for me.
Yeah.
Tech takeaways, you took the over of 1.5. Only got the one. Tech giveaways at a half, you took the under. You said they wouldn't get a. So right now you have one correct.
Yeah, I did poorly.
Sacks. You did take the over on 2.5 sacks in the game.
There we go. Yeah,
But you also took the over on sacks given up at 1.5, and Tech only gave up 1.
it was a rough game.
Largest play from scrimmage. You lost this one on the opening play. I set it at 60 yards. You went under. 71 for the very first.
It was a
play.
rough.
I understand that one. That's rough. That's a rough.
That one is funny. And then you took the under on total points in the game at 59.5, which is the Vegas over-under. And that one, I don't even know. It was 59. No. Maths. Yeah, it was 59.
You took the over? Wait, what?
He took the under, so he got it by a half a point.
Nice. Good job.
Yeah.
You went 3 for
3 for like
11.
3 for 11. Yeah, it was a rough day.
3 and
It's okay.
It's all right.
If I can be bad at over/under and the results of the Red Raiders win,
Man,
you guys will take that all the time.
rack that up.
So
Rack it up every time. All right, so Choice, did you and Sneed make up after the on-air tortilla fight yesterday? We're good, man. Me and Sneed are always good.
I will punch you in your noggin.
There was no tortilla fight. He always has hated the tortilla tradition. I got to the point yesterday where if it means keeping the tradition or penalties, get rid of the tradition. That's where I'm at. If you can't control yourself enough, then wipe out the tradition. But I still maybe have too much faith in humanity and students and people. But I still think it's possible for people to think a little bit.
I do not. Do
the tradition and don't do it after that. I don't know. Sometimes it takes a wake-up call. Maybe after people sober up, they're like, that was stupid. Let's not do that anymore.
I feel like with sports, I'm not a traditionalist. Like, I'm always open for the changes.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't trust college kids with liquid courage if they're going to make sure the tortillas don't touch the field.
But the problem is it's not only the students that we're continuing.
It's not, but it's... Okay, well, then take the student part out of that equation. People with liquid courage...
Fair.
I don't trust of throwing because there is no repercussion for them in reality.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah.
And then they start throwing them at other teams. I mean, I've been to enough Tech games where I've seen it. I've seen them target the other when they're sitting behind the opposing team of throwing them directly that way. So I'm not against the tradition, but if it gets taken away, I absolutely have no issue.
Bro chimes in on the chat line, tortilla fight, horse name. Okay. Got it down. Dear Choice, how are you? I am fine. Do you find it interesting that Cam Dickey and Jacob Rodriguez were starting quarterbacks at Austin Crockett and Wichita Falls Rider? I think it's why they see this field so well. Thank you for the Minnesota North Stars talk that you give us, Gordo. I do think that is absolutely an underrated thing, getting quarterbacks and transitioning them to other positions. I absolutely believe, because the quarterback's the one.
You think it's?
I think it helps.
Definitely helps, but I don't think it's an anomaly.
No, I don't think it's an anomaly. I think it happens. Heck, there's a lot of guys that are listed as athletes coming out of high school.
Your best athlete in high school typically plays quarterback.
A lot of times.
Because they can control the game.
Especially if it's not a 5 or 6A school.
Yeah.
Now, both of those are, I don't know what Crockett is, if it's 5 or 6A. Ryder was 5A before it didn't exist anymore. But I think that's a big part of football IQ. You see some of these guys, because quarterback's the one position you basically have to know how every other position works.
I wanted to fact check this before I said it, but also Jacoby Williams played quarterback.
That's what I thought
in high
too.
school too.
I thought the same thing, but I wasn't certain on that. So Jacoby Williams also, where was he at? Birdville High School, I think.
Beckville.
Dang it, there is a Birdville. I know that. But
yes, yeah, there is.
I'm not just making that up. Beckville. So
Barkville.
Yeah. I think that absolutely makes a difference. Gosh dang it. Michael says, faith in our students. Come on, Choice. Have faith in people too much. Was Hoover distracted on Saturday because there was a furry convention over the weekend in Topeka? Did you see that stuff on Josh Hoover, the TCU quarterback?
I was more worried why the texter knew that.
Have you not? Have you not seen it?
No, yes. That little at the very start of the season. I don't even know how it started. But that was so funny.
No, he tweeted it, or he posted on his own Instagram. Josh Hoover posted himself in like a furry costume, and I'm like,
I actually do vaguely remember that because I think me and Clint talked about it one day on the show.
If there has ever been a red flag for a quarterback, I don't know that there's a bigger one than that. This is how Josh Hoover spends his extra time. Torts aren't a tradition. That's from the chat line. No, but tortillas are. If you've been doing it for 30 plus years, it's a tradition. It doesn't mean it has to be one you like, but it is a tradition. It's the bottom line on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Back here from the First United Bank studio, it's the bottom line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Choice Jamie Brennan with you from First United Bank studio. And at this time on Tuesdays, we give you power rankings. I'll start off, Jamie. if you want me to.
Please do, Choice.
Okay.
Show us how it's done.
Oklahoma State at 16. There's not a more
I thought
right
you were
answer.
starting top to bottom.
Oh, okay.
You went bottom to top.
I'm going bottom. OSU's at 16.
Okay.
I think there are 2 correct answers on this list.
They're not gonna. You're absolutely right, and OSU is not gonna win a game.
1 and 16 are the 2 correct answers, and everything else is up for debate. West Virginia's 15, and that one feels pretty close to a lock. UCF, I've got at 14. They seem to be falling. Colorado moved up, but I couldn't move them past other teams. I had them 14 last week. I got them at 13 this week with their win over Iowa State. Kansas State's 12. Texas Christian comes in at 11. They dropped several spots in mine. Baylor's at 10. I got the Kansas Jayhawks at 9. Iowa State falls down to 8 after being in the top 4 a couple of weeks ago. Arizona is at 7, though that game this weekend with Arizona is going to be pretty interesting. 6 is Houston. 5, Arizona State. Those 2, Houston and Arizona, I believe, play in Houston. Arizona State's 5 and clinging to that spot. 4 is Cincinnati. 3, BYU. 2, Utah. And 1 is the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Can you swing through it one more time for me?
You want to go top to bottom this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Tech, Utah, BYU. Cincinnati, Arizona State, Houston, Arizona, Iowa State, Kansas, Baylor's at 10, TCU, Kansas State at 12, Colorado, UCF, West Virginia, OSU at the bottom.
We have a major difference from one of our teams.
Okay.
This is probably the biggest difference we've ever had.
I'm trying to figure out which one. Houston. Okay.
Oklahoma State 16, West Virginia 15, UCF 14, and Colorado 13. So we're together.
All the same right there.
Yep. 12, Houston.
What?
11, Kansas State.
What?
10, Arizona. 9, Kansas. 8, TCU. 7, Baylor. 6, Iowa State. 5, Arizona State. 4, Cincinnati. 3, BYU. 2, Utah. And number 1, Texas Tech.
What? I've got Houston at 6, and you have them at 12?
It's good. That's what I said. Maybe the biggest separation ever.
You are giving Iowa State too much credit. I mean, you got them at 6. They just lost to 2 and 4 Colorado.
Yeah, they're banged up.
They are, but that's part of the power rankings.
I'm where I think these teams are going to finish. And
okay. I kind of am too. Houston's 5-1 right now.
I think Houston's going to be a bowl team. Surely there's not 12 big teams getting in.
I actually think you're projected to get 12 in at this point.
Okay, well.
Or was it 11? 11 this week. I think it was 12 last week and 11 right now. All right, Brennan, are we boring you? That was a big old yawn, man.
I'm good. I'm good back here.
Okay.
I'm awake. We'll start with 16, Oklahoma State. 15, West Virginia. 14, UCF. 13, Kansas State. 12, Colorado. 11, Arizona. 10, Baylor. 9, TCU. 8, Kansas. 7, Houston. 6, Arizona State. Said they weren't going to be in my top 5 yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
Number 5, Iowa State. 4, Cincinnati. 3, BYU. Number 2, Utah. And number 1, Texas Tech.
So we have the same top 4 and the same bottom 4. No, you're different. You have K-State in your bottom 4.
I have Kansas State.
But pretty close. Pretty close. Same bottom 5 teams. My reasoning on Houston is I think they've actually looked good in every game except one. Basically, there's a common theme out there for a lot of these teams in the middle.
I would probably go with 2. Oregon State.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're correct. They didn't look good in that game. They got away with it.
Yeah.
They got away with it. I thought they looked exactly how they should have against Oklahoma State on the road this past week.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now, low bar. No bar there. But, Jamie, I think when I look at other teams in the Big 12, I'm like, Houston, this weekend tells me a lot with Houston and Arizona. I have both of those teams higher than both of you did. But Arizona's another team. They have had one bad game. They've looked poor in one game. Other than that, they've actually looked pretty good. They looked good against BYU,
yeah,
but just didn't close it out. Yeah. They played good. They just couldn't finish in double overtime.
The bad game you have is Iowa State, right?
That's the bad one.
Yeah.
They looked really bad.
They just never were even in that game.
No. So Houston, I mean, I think Houston beats Arizona, but that's a 1.5-point line in Houston. There's no one else that's wowing me.
Yeah.
I want to say TCU is better than Houston. I want to say Baylor's better than Houston, but what they've shown me on the field doesn't tell me that.
I think Baylor's offense, I think
Clearly
Baylor at least has something to hang their hat on. I think Houston is average, which is an improvement from last year on both offense and defense.
I think they're a good defense. That's where I'll disagree with you. I think Houston has a good defense. And some of the numbers play out to that. But they haven't played some of the better offenses yet. They did play one good offense in the league and got whipped by them. So, I don't know. I think we're going to be doing this all year long.
Yep.
There's going to be a ton of parity in the middle of the league. I think the top and the bottom of the league have separated themselves. But 5 through 11, it's up in the air. I think.
Who is separated more, 1 or 16? I think 16, unfortunately.
I think you're right, because there's still. I asked that question last week. Who's more likely to, or what's more likely to happen, a Tech loss or an OSU win? And I do think it is. An OSU win is less likely. So, I don't know. Which of the 4 teams, this is an unauthorized question today, which of the 4 teams in our top 4 do we think is most likely to finish outside of the top 4 this year? And which of the 4 in the bottom 4 or 5 will be most likely to jump up?
I think most likely in the top 4 to finish outside the top 4 is BYU. I think most likely to jump up out of the bottom 4.
Yeah. Colorado, UCF, West Virginia, OSU. I honestly don't see any of
Colorado,
them doing it,
I
think it's Colorado. Maybe they build off of last week and figure something out. UCF maybe, because they looked okay in the first 3 games or so, but I think I agree with you. BYU is probably it. Maybe Cincinnati comes back to reality a little bit, but they're playing good football. So
I just feel like Cincinnati has a little bit more on their resume at this point than BYU does.
It's all about this game, the Holy War this weekend. BYU wins it, they have demanded respect.
Sure.
If they win against Utah, they have earned that respect, and I think they will be viewed as legitimately a Big 12 title contender as well.
They'll be the clear-cut number 2, and it will feel like it's a 2-team race at that point.
I think so. Cincinnati's still got a say in that.
Sure.
Because they play both Utah schools. But I think BYU will, I'm with you, they'll look like the clear number 2. It's the bottom line. Y'all can chime in on that. We'll get back to some more of your commentary coming up. Question of the day on the way on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy to be part of your Tuesday afternoon. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Chois Woodman, Jamie Lent, Brennan Riker, back behind the glass. Y'all continue to pour in your thoughts. Might even throw you a dad joke here in 15 minutes or so. But right now, let's get to Brennan's question.
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Brought to you by someone not named Jamie and presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
All right, gentlemen. Tell me which Texas Tech Red Raider on the football team are we not talking about enough so far through 6 games?
There's a couple that haven't been as active as I thought they would be. So I don't think that really qualifies for the question. Like, I because you've spread the ball around with receivers so much, you haven't had anybody really separate as a go-to receiver. I still think that Romello Height doesn't get the credit he deserves. It might be crazy because he is getting talked about, but I still think he's living in David Bailey's shadow a little bit, and he deserves a ton of credit for how good your pass rush has been. So I don't know if that's a correct answer because he's getting talked about. I just still don't think it's enough. Like, David Bailey's the one where they're a first-round pick. I think Romello Height, when you look at what he's done and his measurables, I think he's going to be in those first-round pick conversations when the draft rolls around as well. So I guess that's my answer. I think you're going to have a better one.
I think the guy that's not getting talked about enough is... It's another situation where we talk about other guys at his position. I think my answer is Ben Roberts.
I thought that might be it.
I think Ben has had a really, really good season. He's second on the team, I make it third on the team in tackles, behind the other 2 running backs, basically, and Rodriguez and Curry. Mm-hmm. I know Curry plays the star position, but it's very similar to a linebacker.
And he plays linebacker too.
Yeah. So I think Roberts has been really, really good. And we just don't talk about him much because we know about those rush ends, we know about those stud DTs, and then Jacob Rodriguez is a megastar playing linebacker for you.
He might be the best linebacker in the country. Yeah. So
makes so many great plays that I just think Roberts gets overlooked, and I think he's been really good.
There's another one for me. I'll go after you. No, go ahead, Brennan.
I wanted to try looking at the wide receiver room, but you're right, Choice. The ball is spread out so much in that department that there's a lot of guys getting different targets and catches in that room, and I think they all get talked about fairly enough. My answer, and I know it's weird because he's got a lot of accolades from this week, but as far as this season goes, I think Cam Dickey has been underrated for stepping into a position after the injury with Quentin Joyner before the season even starts. What he's been able to do and provide for you in the rush game has been really good, and you've needed it. It helps bring a certain balance to your offense, and he rushed for a lot of yards against Kansas, but then that's when they're like, oh yeah. 263 yards, most of a FBS rusher this year, but it's felt like that potential in what we've seen from him all season long it's been there all year, and it's just finally this week where you see the stats, you see the numbers finally pop for Cam Dickey, if that makes sense.
If you had said this last week, you'd have been like prophetic or something.
Oh, you'd have been amazing. Yeah, but I think that's fair enough. I mean, obviously, he got a lot more talk this week. I thought coming into the season after the injury to what we thought would be your starting running back, I thought Jacoby Williams would be the guy. Mm-hmm. And Cam Dickey has definitely looked like he's the guy.
But it's bounced back and forth, though,
Yeah,
right?
it has.
Because there's been one game where Cam started the first game, and then the Utah game was Jacoby Williams' big game. You've had
it's funny when Coach McGuire talked so much about what was it? Committee.
Oh, committee, yeah.
About the committee, running back by committee. I thought you had one guy and then you had two other guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it totally, right now, you have two guys. It is a committee.
It's a committee right
Committee
now.
of two.
Sure.
Okay? There's no telling whether it was going to be truly a committee of three or not. We don't know. But right now, it clearly is a committee of two. But this Saturday, Cam Dickey was definitely, he was your dude.
Yeah, if before Saturday, would you have said, if I would have said, who's your better running back? Who would you have said going into Saturday? Because I still think I would have answered Jacoby Williams was a little bit more dynamic, but...
Yeah, I probably would have gone with Jacoby too.
Because, I mean, you've gone back and forth. And truthfully, part of the reason that Dickey was able to have the day that he did on Saturday is because Williams got a lot less touches because Williams was banged up.
Yeah.
Coach McGuire's talked about that. But Dickey took full advantage of those touches. And
when Jacoby was in there, he still looked fine.
He did. He ran over a guy. And I think that, man, you're in a good spot in that running back position right now.
Yeah,
now, if you lose one of these two guys, then it gets really thin.
Mm-hmm.
It gets really thin fast. So hopefully you can stay healthy because that is as good of a 1-2 punch as you're going to find in most places. And it was probably one of the bigger question marks coming into the season, especially after Quentin Joyner goes down.
After Joyner got hurt, yes.
Yeah,
totally agree.
What's that running back room going to look like? So the other person that I would say is in consideration for not getting talked about enough is John Carlos Miller. I think, and the reason is because of how much of the dirty work he does. If you watch him in the non-sexy parts of the game, the blocking in the run game, he's really good. Also, one thing that Mac Leftwich does a good job of is he'll split out the tight ends to block for your receivers a lot of times on screen plays. And I think that's been a big difference in your screen game this year. If you just watch the receivers and your tight ends are blocking really well in the screen game. So there's been more of an emphasis on that this season, and I think you've had some success there.
I think he's been terrific at that choice, but I'll slightly disagree with you. If you're talking about blocking tight ends, it's usually a negative thing, and so we don't want that. Well, I think he's been awesome at doing the things that he's supposed to do.
Sure.
If we are talking about him a bunch, we're probably talking about a holding penalty or him missing a block.
Fair.
So yeah, Fair. He's done a terrific job, and like you said, he does all the dirty work, and that's huge in that he's able to, on those screen plays, to get out there and set up those screens and open things up for those wide receivers. But you see him in the run game too, being really good as well.
He has, but I think the reason he doesn't get as many, I think he would have plenty of targets, but he's got someone in front of him as far as pass catching right now that is
terrific receiver,
as good as it gets at a tight end position. So yeah, I think you got a lot of options. We've talked about a lot of guys this year, but it has been interesting in your passing game how much you spread the ball around, because I think you pass for less than 200 yards on Saturday, and you're still fourth in the country in passing yards per game.
Yeah.
Third in the country. So it's kind of been interesting to see how much you've spread that ball around, because we've talked about spreading the ball in previous seasons, but it feels very evenly distributed to this point in the season. There's games where guys will go for more, but there's no one that's separated as the go-to guy where you lean on even more than the others. Way to go, Choice. Jinx the running back room. Why do I get the jinx? Come on. Someone else says, haven't heard the committee talk since Joyner went down.
Yeah.
I think you got to have at least 3 for a committee, right?
I don't know.
Is there a committee of 2 people?
Maybe.
Isn't that just a duo or a duet or a...
Yeah, I think you're right.
Getting to the point but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. This is The Bottom Line. About a half hour left with you on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Jamie has gone off hiking, and Josh Faupel joins us in the First United Bank studio from Chois
Mountain Dew is a staple for meth heads.
Or that's where Jamie is. The Mountain Dew or the meth. We'll let you figure it out. Brennan Riker across the way. And Josh, because you're our guest, we welcome you to dive right in and give us our Tell Me I'm Wrong statement.
Woo! Gentlemen, I put it to you that... Okay, so popular, I guess, talk now is that who is going to be in the Big 12 championship is Texas Tech and the winner of BYU versus Utah. Okay, let me put it in terms of the statement. That will not be the case. Texas Tech is not going to go up against either Utah or BYU.
Ooh, man.
I could list a specific team because I have a specific team in mind, but I'll leave it right there that Tech's opponent for the Big 12 championship is not going to be BYU or Utah.
I can't tell you with certainty that you're wrong.
Nope. Lock it in right now.
I cannot tell you with certainty that you're wrong, but I will say that I am 75% sure you're going to be wrong on this. I'm giving Cincinnati a 25% chance to end up there. Now let's make it 80%. 20% chance that they end up.
When was the last time you looked at both of their schedules? BYU and Utah.
They both play Cincinnati.
Yep.
I can't remember which one of them has them at home.
I don't either. Sorry, I'll let you finish your thought. Keep going. I
think that the best two teams remaining outside of the Red Raiders are those two. I think Cincinnati does navigate through.
Well, both of those teams.
Yeah, but I think their schedule's a little bit tougher. I think you've got a de facto Big 12 championship appearance game this weekend in Provo. So eye test tells me Utah's the second best team in this league.
Okay.
Now, if they go lose to BYU, then it's going to be hard for them to get into the Big 12 championship. BYU is a really good team too. But outside of the Texas Tech game, and you don't get to do this, you don't get to take things away, but if you do take the Texas Tech game away, Utah is averaging about a 35-point margin of victory in their games. So they've whipped some butt, and I was impressed thoroughly with what they did against Arizona State last week.
UCLA adds a lot to that, though.
Yeah. Hey, that's a team that's won 2 in a row, man. I think. Did they win this last weekend?
Yeah, UCLA beat oh gosh.
They beat Penn State 2 weeks ago.
We're doing great so far.
But yeah, they beat another Big Ten team. They beat. You got the Google machine? I was going to say Michigan, but that's not right.
Mean Machine.
I was also Northwestern. Yeah, Northwestern beat Penn State. Help me, Choice.
Oh, I was looking up Cincinnati's schedule. I'm not even looking for you. I wasn't even looking to help you. I was looking up Cincinnati's schedule remaining. So, UCLA beat Michigan State, and they beat the doors off of them in East Lansing. So,
which that's also a very poor Michigan
that's a 3-3
State team.
But UCLA has a little momentum. They don't look like the absolutely horrible bottom feeder that they did a couple of weeks ago. Regardless, I think there are losable games still on the schedule for Cincinnati. I think the Baylor game is still losable. I think obviously Utah and BYU are losable. Utah is at Utah, and I think that's where they really fall. But if Cincinnati can come out with just one loss, then there's going to be some potential to navigate there. Those are probably the only three that are losable. The problem for Cincinnati is tiebreakers if their 2 losses are to those 2 teams. So I think you're wrong.
Okay.
But with the door open for a chance of being right. Was Cincinnati the team you had thought of? Okay.
I'm going to tell you you're wrong too, and it really has less to do with what BYU and Utah are doing. I think it has more to do with Cincinnati. I think they've sustained some momentum right now, but I think eventually reality is going to come back. It's hard for me to imagine Cincinnati being the opponent in Arlington for Texas Tech. Truthfully, I'm thinking it's Utah. I'm kind of hoping it's BYU because I don't want to play Utah again. Well, I don't know if we would really want to play BYU again, but...
Yeah, I don't know who I'm rooting for at that point. I really don't know.
I like BYU fans a lot more than I like Utah fans, so there's that. But
I like the idea of playing a new team more than those two, than having a rematch. I would like to play Cincinnati. But, yeah, I don't... Why do you feel like it's Cincinnati?
Well, I think that it could only be the only other team it could be probably that makes a run is going to be Cincinnati because
there's one other with the door open right now, cracked, and it's Arizona State.
Yeah,
but they would have to beat Tech this weekend. If Arizona State beat Tech this weekend, and then you'd have to run the table on the other side of that, they would have a shot.
Sure,
they would get in if they ran the table, but I would be pretty surprised if that were to happen. Tech looks like a significantly better team as of right now. So Cincinnati's your next best candidate, but I think a lot of people, like myself, are still overlooking them a bit.
Yes. I also think that on BYU and on Utah's schedule, there is possibility for there are teams that could just pull it together one game. And not that that's not the case all the time, but you could see it with like a TCU, with a Baylor, with something like that. And, you know, one game slips and suddenly you're down from, like Utah. In Utah's case, it would be 1 loss to 2 losses, and then their tiebreakers are, you know, a mess.
So here's what we've got. According to CFB Graphs, which is an analytics system, you punch in 2 teams, it gives you the matchup predictor. Utah in the Cincinnati game is a 68% chance winner.
Pretty good.
32-22 is the projected score. So that's that one. Now let's look at Cincinnati against BYU. Again, this is computer nerdy junk. Cincinnati is projected as a 50.6% chance winner over BYU.
Wow.
The score is 26.68 to 26.34.
That's an interesting one.
So basically 27 to 26 is your score. If Cincinnati beats BYU but loses to Utah, Utah's still going to have the head-to-head tiebreak on them. So I think that's the hard part, is when we were talking about head-to-heads. Now, if Utah went and lost to BYU, but then Cincinnati loses to Utah and beats BYU, then it is Cincinnati's to run with. So it's not impossible. Cincinnati controls its own destiny at this point. But you could say that about the Red Raiders. You could say that about BYU. You could say that about basically the top 4 or 5 teams in the Big 12 Conference.
Do you think that, so technically, Baylor is also a 1-loss team in the conference?
Yeah, and I think they've still got a shot.
And Houston is also a 1-loss
Houston,
team.
What did I just rank them? 6? I don't think they have a chance.
Okay.
So it does.
I think it would be absolutely hilarious, though, if Houston just wins out in the regular season and meets up with Tech in the Big 12 championship. That would be... I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't.
I just think that'd be the funniest opponent Tech could meet.
It would be very strange.
In Arlington.
My pick, if I still got to pick anything, I'd want it to be Baylor. The storylines with Sawyer Robertson playing against Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship, and you don't break the streak of playing Baylor every year since, 1964? That's going to break this year because the conference is stupid and didn't keep it going.
That kind of scares me with Baylor, though, because I feel like
if
for them to have that turnaround, that's a lot of momentum.
It would be a lot of momentum.
Not saying that Tech wouldn't have
I still don't think
a lot
there's
of momentum. But
even if they had that turnaround, you've still got the most talented team in the league, and I don't think there's any question about that. Which most of the time turns into wins, but it's not a guarantee.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.